everybody. Oops, setting my timer again. This is going to be kind of a rambling slash vlog about something I've really been thinking a lot about lately. Kind of going to be about spell work and asking for stuff. Now, I don't mean asking your parents or asking your significant other or whatever. I mean asking the God and Goddess and asking your spirit guides and asking the universe for something that you need. Now, when I first started the craft, which was, like I said, back when I was a teenager, of course I did a couple spells here and there, but it wasn't the spell work that drew me into Wicca. It was the fact that I had a feeling of being at home. It was somewhere where I belonged. It resonated with what I had already believed and just intensified it. So I wasn't, one of the young witches that came in and flung magic around and all that kind of stuff, which, if you are one of those people, not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that's kind of a little stereotype that people get as teenagers that don't know what they're doing and working with magic. But I have always been a very solo person. I'm stubborn. I don't like asking for things. And that's to anybody. If I have money problems, I will figure out a way myself to fix that. I'm not going to ask my parents. I'm not going to ask my boyfriend. If I want something really, really badly, I'll find a way to get it. I just don't like asking for things because I feel like I'm bothering somebody. And so when I first started Wicca, I did a couple spells. They worked really well, but I kind of fell out of it. I didn't do a single spell for years. And I mean, not that I fell out of Wicca, because I didn't. I do rituals, I did divination, I did stuff like that, but I didn't do an actual spell for quite a long time. And it's because I felt the exact same thing with the God and Goddess as I do with actual human beings. I felt like if I asked them for something, then, it had to be a very special circumstance. I couldn't just ask them for any old thing. And, I'm slowly getting out of that. Because, you think of witch, you think of magic. That's just what pops into your head. And as witches, we work with energy. We work with making our lives and our loved ones' lives better, and working with the earth and working with the elements. And that's just something that you do. And, I don't think that asking for something from the God and Goddess or the universe or your spirit guides or however you want to look at it is a bad thing. And I know that you guys all probably already know this, but this is just my take on it. So you look at Tiptoe Chick's recent videos, her Mojo Bag video and her Witch's Bottle. Now, I did a Witch's Bottle when I first started back years ago, and it worked really, really well for what I used it for. And I saw the Mojo Bag and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally know what I want to make these for. This is an awesome idea. And, that's a spell. That's asking the universe for something. And something that actually really kind of took me out of that frame of mind of being afraid to ask is the movie The Secret. And I don't know if anybody's ever watched it. I haven't read the book, but I've watched the movie and it was life-changing. If you've never ever watched that movie, I recommend that to anybody, any age, any religion. It was fantastic. Now, they use the universe instead of a higher power. They didn't want to put you know, any kind of deities in there. They use the universe, but it's the same for everything. You know, the universe is there to help you out, but you have to ask, and you have to, you know, put forth energy, and not just say, well, you know, I have some extra bills this month, I need $5,000. Do you need $5,000 or do you want $5,000? Because we all want $5,000. But I mean, if your bills came out and you're like, oh my gosh, I just got this $200 bill for such and such that I didn't know I was going to get, ask for it. You know, do a prosperity spell, do a money spell, and, you know, put your energy into it. And you cannot dwell on the fact that you have a bill to pay. You can't dwell on the fact that you're not going to have the money, that you can't freak out about stuff like that. If you're going to do a spell, you have to constantly think in your mind, or, well, not constantly, but I mean, you have to put a picture in your mind of that end product, of getting that $200, and you have to really feel it. You know, if you're doing the spell, or you're going throughout your daily life, or you're making a vision board, or whatever you're doing, you know, you've got to look at that bill and say, okay, I have a $200 bill. It's coming up in 3 weeks, and I know I'm not going to have the $200. So I'm going to do this money spell, and I'm going to feel like the world is lifted off my shoulders. I'm going to feel that lightness and that happiness, and you really have to put yourself in that frame of mind, and, you know that you're going to get that $200. Because if you're, and then, you know, ask for it. Do your spell, do your prayer, do whatever it is. Because if you don't firmly believe that you're going to get that $200 and you don't ask for it, you're not going to make a shift in the energies of the universe, and they're not going to give it to you. So I think that asking for something that you need is perfectly 100% what you should be doing. And if it's something that you want, as long as it's not something silly like, you know, winning the lottery or having $1 million house or whatever it is, and, you know, okay, I don't think it's bad to want something either. Like recently, you know, I wanted to start my YouTube videos really, really bad. I wanted to do it for a couple of years, and, you know, I wanted so badly for people to tune in and to watch and to hear what I have to say, because, not because I want to be famous, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to be the next Tiptoe Chick or the next Charming Pixie Flora, but I don't really have anybody to talk to about this kind of stuff. So when I put this on YouTube, I feel like I have an audience that I can talk to. I have like-minded people that I can, you know, get a hold of, and that they'll watch and they'll comment back, and I can have conversations with people. That's what I want. You know, I want to educate people with what I'm learning, and if I can help someone, cool. If somebody else can teach me something, that's even better. So, and I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. And now look, you know, I got in touch with Tiptoe Chick. She's been amazing. I now have, I think, like 136 subscribers, which I didn't even think I was going to get 10 views on my first video. So, you know, when you really, really, really want something and you ask for it, you're going to get it in one way or another. Especially if you're genuine about why you want it. I didn't want this channel to be famous. I didn't want it for my own personal greed. I wanted it for the reasons that I just told you. And another thing too, and I'm almost running out of time, I know, but another thing too is, if you haven't checked out Flora's videos on D3, Daily Divine Dialogue, I highly recommend that you do so. Because this is something that I started doing within the last couple of years, and it has really, really helped me to open up for asking. Every day, maybe multiple times a day, I talk to the God and Goddess and my spirit guides. I literally say, God and Goddess and Spirit Guides, hi, it's me, blah, 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 blah. And I'll tell them about my day. I'll tell them about my problems. I'll tell them about, you know, what's going on. Even though I know that they're watching, I feel like I have to tell them. And, you know, I start talking to them like they're my friends. And when you get that connection with your higher power, it makes it so much easier to ask and to do spell work and to, you know, really get in touch with them, because you feel like you know them. And when you start getting in touch with them more often and just talking to them and thanking them every day instead of just saying, hey, I really need this, so give it to me. They really appreciate it, and they really help you when you need it, and you know, it's just awesome. So this was a huge ramble. It was just something that I couldn't sleep last night because I kept thinking about it, and I wrote it down, and so I really wanted to do a video on it. So the point is, don't be afraid to ask for something if you need it or if you really, really, really want it. Be genuine about it, and, you know, be a witch. Work your magic, work your spells, help people out, help yourself out. That's what you're here to do, is to make your life better and easier. So, sorry about the length, guys. I hope you have a good day, and once again, sorry about my rambling. Blessed be everybody.